This is the Coyote T-Bird build, and you and we got to have a talk about this. All right, welcome back. Continuing on my 83 Thunderbird GT Coyote build. Yeah, looks a little different than the last time in the last video. Yes, that is a cherry picker. And yes, the motor is unbolted. So, gonna be taking a little turn of directions here on this build. An opportunity came up. I didn't think I was serious about it, but it turns out that I was. Just kind of sitting around bench racing with some buddies, talking about the what ifs and the possibilities of this car. Like, you know, I have a G-Force built T5 transmission that was going in this car. Already has a QuickTime bell, all the center force, clutch, pressure plate setup, everything's brand new. I was building this car for basically just something fun to drive to work, a daily driver. And it's really got me thinking here lately, this past year. I have a 62-mile commute to work, and it's all under construction. There is no possible way for me to avoid complete gridlock every day on my way to work. My drive to work is now taking, 15 to 20 minutes longer sometimes than normal. And the thought has always been in the back of my head, man, if I was driving this car with a stick shift, man, I would be miserable. It'd just be such a pain in the ass. Clutch in, clutch out, clutch in, clutch out. It's a cable shifter. It's not hydraulic. I just think it would just suck the fun right out of driving this car every day. And I'd be right back to driving my gas guzzling Super Duty. So we threw on the idea, man, what if this car was an automatic? Would that be so terrible? A Coyote with an automatic. Tons of people are doing auto swaps on these Fox bodies. I had just never considered it myself, but just kind of, like I said, bench racing with some buddies. I have another friend that's doing a Coyote swap on a Fox body of their own. They were looking for some drivetrain components, and just kind of jokingly, I threw it out there. I'm like, hey, I had to sell you all of my stuff, and then I'll build an automatic for this. And what do you know? Threw out a price, he accepted, and now here I am tearing this all apart. So I'm going to be doing an auto swap in this car, and I'm not upset about it. I'm actually really looking forward to it. But first, let me tell you what's going on here, and then I'll tell you why I'm kind of looking forward to this. Not kind of, I really am. So first things first, I have to fulfill my commitment to my buddy and give him all the parts. So what the package deal was is I am selling the G-Force T5, everything from the QuickTime bell housing back, shifter, clutch cable, and the BBK swap headers that I have. These headers, unfortunately, will not work with any automatic whatsoever. So I just included it as part of the deal, and it'll help them along with their build, and it will, they're useless to me. So the money that I got from selling all these parts went right back into the car, and it's going to mostly pay for the conversion to go automatic. I'll probably end up spending $1,000 out of my pocket on top of the money that I got for the parts that I sold, which I'm okay with. But the car, fortunately, was at a good point to make this decision to change it. So, what am I changing? So the parts that I'm going to be changing on this car, obviously everything from the bell housing back. Number one, I have to have new headers. So I talked to Ultimate Headers in Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm having a custom set of their 1 7/8 long tube stainless headers built for this that they call their universal automatic headers. I talked to, I believe it's Corey over there, multiple times actually. Very helpful. And these headers supposedly will work with virtually any automatic that you can bolt to a Coyote. I like that. Gives me options. But the option that I chose was I'm going, I guess it's kind of my motif here. I'm going the unconventional route, and I'm building a 4R75W for this. Not doing 10R, not doing 6R. I'm going to do something a little different. I think the 4-speed automatic is going to be just fine for this car. This car is not heavy. It's not like a newer Mustang. It's quite a bit lighter. Um, I already have a 390 gear set in the 8.8, so that will work better with the gear spread in the 4R versus a 6R. If I were to put a 6R in this, I would definitely be looking at doing a gear swap in the rear. It might only need like a 331 or 355 at the most. But the 390 in there should work fine, and the car will drive perfect. What I did was, sorry, UPS guy showed up. Anyway, where was I at? The 4R. So what I ended up doing was I bought a complete kit from Monster Transmissions to do a full rebuild on the 4R. They have a couple different levels of kits. I bought their, I guess it would be the middle kit, which they say is rated for 650 flywheel horsepower. Now, this is an NA Coyote. With the control pack, the headers, this will probably make about 400 wheel horsepower when it's all said and done and it's tuned. Kind of gives me the option down the road. I would love someday maybe to see a blower on this car. It's a Gen 1. Won't take a lot of power, but if I could find like a Roush blower kit is what I was thinking. Something like that would probably put this motor about 550 horse, which would keep the bottom end of this motor safe, and also the transmission would still be safe. So I'm just kind of thinking ahead down the road what's in store for this motor, possibly some boost. So let's build a transmission that's capable of handling that. Picking up a converter from a local company. It's about a 2400 to 2200 RPM stall, which will be fine for a daily driver. Again, I'm not building some Billy Badass Coyote stock drag car. This is just a fun street car, something hopefully gets good gas mileage, drives good, and it's just fun to drive every day. And I can literally throw the keys to anybody I want and let them take it and not have to worry about anything. So keep that in mind with this build. So I think this transmission is going to be a good option with the new headers. They're a little bit bigger. These BBKs are only 1.75 inches. So I'll have a little bit bigger 1.775 primary tube headers, which ultimately will allow this to make more power down the line. And I would like to have this kind of be, I don't know, kind of as factory looking as you possibly could with a Coyote swap, I guess. So it opens up the door for me to just using a stock Foxbody AOD shifter. That's what I want to use. I don't want some fancy, crazy aftermarket shifter that doesn't fit the console and just looks completely out of place. I don't want that. I'm going to put a stock AOD shifter in it. And the beauty of the whole thing is what's going to make this work. And that's the US Shift Quick 4 controller. The transmission is computer controlled. This will allow me a complete standalone controller that operates a transmission, and it gives me a multiple choices on shift programs for the transmission. I can set it up where it drives like a stock Crown Vic, or I can have this thing where it automatically just bangs gears at whatever I want, 72, 7500 RPM. I don't need to worry about manually shifting this thing, so I can just put it in drive, choose whatever program I want, and just right to the floor. So, and I do see they do offer, looks like in the wiring there is a way to have like paddle shifters. I don't know exactly how I would incorporate into this car, but it's something I'm going to look into to see if, something on the shifter. I don't know about something behind the steering wheel. I don't know yet, but I think the option is there to come up with something cool for using, buttons to shift it as well. So I'm really excited for this change. I think it's going to make the car actually better to drive. Um, I just never have to worry about clutches again or getting stuck in traffic. And actually, I mean, this car will see some track time for sure. I do like True Street class. Um, I don't know ultimately that the car will be faster with the automatic, but it'll definitely be more consistent and it'll be easier on components. So I think it'll be a better race car when I do take it to the track. So that's the plan. Hope you like it. If not, oh well, that's what I'm doing. So flame me down below in the comments if you want. I know there's all the people out there that those trans are junk. You got to do a 6R. 6R is, that's the only way to go. You know, I'm not one to, follow the herd. I kind of march to my own beat. So this is what I'm doing. So follow along and let's get into it. Okay, so getting the motor back out of the car so I can remove the headers. Well, I discovered the combination of Team Z Kmember and the BBK headers. Motor will not come out up top. There's major interference on the passenger side with one of the primary tubes that kind of hooks the back side of the plate where the motor mount goes on the Kmember, and there's no way to get it out. Me and my buddy tried for quite a while, and it's not coming out. And in doing so, it reminded me, because it's been so long ago, that to get the motor in the car, if you go back through the older videos of this project, had to basically hang the motor from the cherry picker and then install the Kmember up from the bottom to get everything to fit right. So basically I started getting ready to pull the Kmember. I got the car sitting on jack stands. I got the front suspension all taken off the car, steering's all off the car. So now what I can do is hook the motor to the cherry picker and just kind of take a little bit of weight off of it. And then I'll go underneath and I'll remove the 8 bolts that hold the Kmember to the frame rails, drop it out of the way, then I can lift the motor out of the car. Crappy part is at that point, the car is then not mobile anymore. So I'm not exactly sure what the next step in the process is going to be. God, I'd hate to just keep assembling and disassembling, assembling and disassembling. It's just such a waste of time, but I guess I got to do what I got to do. But anyway, let's get the motor, let's get the Kmember out, then I can get the motor out of the car. Okay, motor is hanging on the cherry picker. It's got a little bit of tension on it, taking some weight off of it. Motor mount bolts are off. I've got the back 4 bolts of the Kmember unbolted. I got to do the 4 that go into the frame rail and let the Kmember drop out. Then I can lift it out. Okay, Kmember is unbolted and it's off the motor. All right, going up. There it is. Here it comes. This part makes me nervous. Having this thing hanging over the core support and the body of the car. Boy, it's just scratching the shit out of my engine compartment. Definitely gonna be doing some repainting. All right, there it is. I think actually, I think I'm just gonna pull the headers off of it right now. just get those off and get those out of the way. Then just be a little bit less to deal with when I maneuver this out, because space is getting tight in here. This does have the locking header bolts from, what is it, stage 8? Yes. So I'm going to get the clips and then the little tabs that stop them from rotating. Get those off. Header bolts are out. There you go. First header is off. All right. Headers are off. Put the starter off. I only dropped 2 things I got to find. That's pretty good. So, yeah. So let's see if I can swing this over here, get it away from the car. Probably should have oiled the wheels on this cherry picker. It does not like to roll. All right. It's out. It's on the floor. I guess not too bad for doing this all by myself. Yeah, butchered up. Paint under here. I'll have to clean all that up. I guess I'm going to have to bolt the Kmember and the suspension back in it just so I can move the damn car now. I don't see any other way around that. But, all right. Now just to pull the bell housing off and the flywheel and everything else and get this package together so I can drop it off to my buddy. Okay, everything is off the back of the motor with the exception of that damn pilot bearing. I'm going to have to go rent that special tool to get that damn thing out. But pile of parts is ready. There's a QuickTime bell, center force clutch setup. Can't remember exactly the place where I bought that through. BBK headers and the G-Force T5 and Percy. So anyway, gonna load this stuff up, go drop it off to its new owners, and we're moving along. That's it. I guess next is I'll go ahead and clean up the engine bay, do some touch-up paint in there, and I'll probably work on some of the wire tuck while I have the room. And I think I'm going to reconfigure how I have the radiator mounted. I'm going to work on that while I have the space too. So that's it. That's where we're at with this. All right, I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. Going to keep this one short and sweet, I think. Just kind of reintroducing the Coyote T-Bird project. We're back in it. Yes, I do have other things going on too, but I'm going to be kind of bouncing around. But I got a lot of parts already on the way for this. I'll be getting the trans put together here real soon and come up with a plan on probably putting the trans and the motor together on the floor, putting them in the Kmember, and then I've had a couple offers to take the whole project over to some buddies' houses. I got 2 buddies, each have a lift. It would make putting the car together a lot easier on me, but it's just a fact I got to put all this stuff together, make it a roller, get everything in a trailer, get everything over there. Just, I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze at that point, I might just try to make do with what I got here. So anyway, that's it. That's a wrap. Thank you for watching. You got any questions on the project? Light me up below. I'll answer what I can. Got any criticisms also? Let me know. But that's it. We will catch you on the next video. Goodbye.